Welcome back to my channel, doing a review of Dot and Bubble. So I just watched the episode 12 at night. It's about 2:30 now. But okay, let's go through it. So the actual name, the title, Dot and Bubble, refers to a device they use in the show. It's like the device is a dot, size of a dot, and they have a bubble, right? The bubble surrounds a person, right? And the bubble is like a live feed. And the live feed is of all your friends on your list, your favorite friends on your list. And man, when you're in this bubble, it just surrounds you. You can't see outside the bubble. And the bubble actually, you can go about your daily tasks and the bubble tells you how to walk or where to go. So like, if you have a destination to go to work, the bubble will tell you how to get to there. So it'll say, walk straight, walk left, walk right. You have all these like individual squares that each square is your friend. And it's a live feed and you can talk to them. And when you're in this bubble, it tells you you don't really see anything outside the bubble. So when you're wearing it, you have to be told to walk, like to go to the bathroom, which direction. There's like these arrows you can follow. And if you're going to work, it'll even tell you how to get to work. So the main character in the story is a person called Lindy, right? So we see her waking up in her daily life and she's in a place called Fun Time. Apparently she's working there and there's a lot of people working there. And she sounds like, I think the word is Zoomer. I don't exactly know the definition. Okay, Google's definition of Zoomer is a member of Generation Z, born in the late 1990s or the early 21st century, perceived as being familiar with the use of digital technology, the internet and social media from a very young age. Gen Z is only just entering the workforce. The oldest Zoomers are in their 20s, so they're at least 20. If I find it, I'll let you know. But I think they're trying to portray these characters and a lot of her friends as Zoomers, right? And right at the beginning, she's got this thing, a bubble on her head, and she's seeing all her friends. The doctor comes up and he's trying to talk to her and warn her about something, and she just flips him off and doesn't want to talk to him.
World, there are monsters and they are coming to get you. No, Lindy, don't.
And it comes to the point that later in the episode, Ruby has to trick her into talking to them. And they're trying to warn her and try to save her life, but she doesn't want to listen. Her character is very annoying, very unlikable, selfish, self-possessed. And you know, the whole bubble thing is social media, right? It's like Facebook, but 24/7. You can never come out of it. You don't need to come out of it. The bubble it's like AI. It will tell you to walk and go anywhere. You never need to see the outside world as long as you're in the bubble. The moment you wake up, you turn on the bubble and that's it. So within this episode, Ruby and the Doctor are not in it. Mostly, like 95%, they're not in the episode. Physically 95% they're not in the episode. They do talk to Lindy through the screen, the visor thing, the bubble, because they're trying to save her life. The problem with this is, it feels like when they're talking through the screen to the actress is actually really good. The person who plays Lindy, her performance is great.
Oh, condescending much?
She's genuinely trying to be unlikable. She's not, like, it's not just written that they accidentally make her unlikable. She is a just unlikable character. So the way they react to Lindy's reaction, like there's a scene where they've told her there's this slug monster, right? There's a monster eating all her friends. They're eating all the people in the city. Lindy's at work. She's not seeing anything outside the visor of the bubble. And they're trying to communicate. Ruby's trying to communicate to her. And they're trying to save her life. There's sometimes Lindy would act scared, but then the reaction of Ruby and Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson would be off, right? Their performances didn't match up to Lindy's performance, right? It's like, because it seems like they're just reading lines, right? I think what happened is, if they were physically there with Lindy, they could bounce off her performance, right? Then they could tailor their performance to her performance, right? Because there would be that emotional link. Sometimes they would, like, there was a scene on the lift, she's trying to escape, and it just felt unconnected. Like they're just reading lines. They're not seeing Lindy's performance. and it feels unconnected, and that actually makes the story suffer, right? That's a down. So I think the Doctor really needed to be in the story physically, and Ruby needed to be in the story physically, because it doesn't work. That part doesn't work. So I don't know if I'm trying to say this right. Their performance doesn't seem correct to the reaction of Lindy when she's scared. That's what I'm trying to say. It feels like sometimes Ruby and Ncuti are just being themselves, right? They're not being Ruby and the Doctor. They're just reading lines. And that's where this episode suffers. I've heard that Ncuti was shooting one of his another project, sex education, so he couldn't be on the set all the time. That's why they had this episode where he wasn't in most of the episode. I don't know how true that is. It's another YouTuber who said that. So Lindy is very unlikable.
How does it work? Jiminy, you're stupid. We come here.
She's rude to the Doctor. A lot of times she calls them stupid. She calls Ruby stupid. She like kind of rolls her eyes a few times in this. Not rolls her eyes, just treats them like they're nothing, like they're beneath her. And there's a reason for this, right? It's kind of explained at her attitude problem. And the way she reacts to them is explained later in the episode. I think the actual bubble is some kind of statement, right? I think this actual story was written by Russell T Davies. I'm sure this bubble, this social media bubble, has some kind of meaning, obvious meaning. I think the meaning is like everybody lives in a bubble. Maybe everybody lives in a social media bubble. They're not aware of things happening outside themselves, outside the bubble. Maybe saying we all live in a bubble. We don't care about things that happen to other people outside the bubble that are not close to us or friends. Maybe we don't notice horrible, terrible things happening to people. Maybe people just want to be blind all the time. The Doctor keeps trying to help Lindy by warning her about the monsters. She doesn't want to listen. Ruby has to lie to her and pretend like she's from the IT department or something to get her to listen. It has to compliment her, to use her ego for her to even listen to her. And she's trying to warn her, trying to tell her to switch off the bubble and have a look around you and see that some of your friends and people you work with have died. This place that they're at is called Fun Time.
Fun Time!
It's like a work base somewhere in the forest, right? They have like a home base, which I think is in the outside the planet somewhere, like a station or something. And they have a home base. And the home base is like, it's a place where you work, and they only work 2 hours a day. And even they work 2 hours a day data processing. Even though work 2 hours, they're constantly complaining. Like Linda's complaining about having chapped hands. The people who have friends that you constantly see have on a list keep complaining about work. They work 2 hours a day and they're free for the rest. And they're partying and having fun. But 2 hours still is too much for them. All they do is data processing, not just typing. So I think they're trying to say that they're lazy. And I think he was trying to say they were lazy and just moaning and selfish. That's one of the things they're trying to say. So Lindy has a lot of negative characters. She's dumb as well. A lot of the characters are dumb, annoying, and vacuous. This place, Fine Time, is also for rich kids, right? Not everybody can go here. It's only for people who are 17 to 27, and they must have a lot of money to even work in this area. And it turns out her mother is actually Susan Twist. And Susan Twist, she comes onto the device and talks for a bit, and Ruby and the Doctor both recognize her, right?
Who is that?
I told you, it's Mummy.
Hold on, I've seen her before.
Yeah, she's the face of the ambulance in Postarium 3.
No, I've seen her somewhere else.
And they both recognize her different times. Their reaction is very dull, right? It's like they're not acting, they're just being themselves, right? And it's very underwhelming. You think they would be like, oh my god, this Susan Twist, we've seen her in different timelines, how is that possible? You think that would be the reaction, but the reaction, I was like, oh yeah, I remember. She was the ambulance hologram. Oh yeah, no, she was. And then Ruby's like, no, she was somebody else. And so it's so underwhelming. And it's like they don't even care that Susan's been in all these timelines and she's come up all these times. So that was disappointing. I'm starting to think, maybe, what, is this Susan twist even important? Or is this like a joke or something? I hope that it has a good payoff, because they keep sowing Susan twist. If we come to the end of the show and there's no payoff, I just feel, I don't know, like that I've been pranked or something. I've been cheated. So I want a good, satisfying payoff to Susan twist. So you're trying to see the doctor help Lindy survive by telling her to open the bubble. Ruby's helping as well. They're trying to tell her of a location in the city that there's like tunnels underneath, and she can go there and he will instruct her to get through a door and help her and save her life. She's very rude. She won't listen to him, even though he's trying to save her life. You don't want... It's different. The first time I watched it, I was more thinking about the mystery and everything. And the second time, I was kind of wanting Linda to fail, right? I kind of understand. I wanted her to fail. Also, I like to talk about the monsters. The monsters are these slug creatures. They're all CGI, no practical effects. They're very slow and they're not frightening. Right? I think the reason they're not frightening is, like I said, they're not practical effects. They're slow, so you feel like you can run away from them. And they don't feel like a threat because they're moving so slowly. I think they could have, I don't know, they're silent as well. Maybe they could have made some kind of noise. They could have been faster. The way they were killing people didn't look terrifying. They should have been more terrifying. So you're kind of thinking about the mystery of these monsters and what is going on, but then you're starting to think, should Lindy be saved? I mean, the second viewing, you really think Lindy shouldn't be saved. We'll get to the end of it. When you're watching it, you know Lindy is unlikable, but you're thinking that she will have personal growth, right? Through all this ordeal and everything that she's going through, she will grow as a character, and that will be a satisfying growth, right? She'll change as a person. She'll become a better person. She'll become nicer to the doctor and everything. But no, that never happens. She never grows anything. In fact, she even becomes more unlikable as the episode goes along. She's constantly unlikable. So I think that's all intentional, right? I think there was some message about this dot and bubble. I'm guessing that I don't know what Russell T Davies is saying. He's written this script. Maybe he's saying that everybody's in their bubble. Or maybe he's saying he doesn't like Zoomers or young people. I don't know. How would I improve the story? So first of all, I would change it a little bit, right? I would make all the people in Fun Time racist towards the doctor, right? I know race or whatever, but it would have been more interesting if the reason she wasn't... There's a reason why she's not listening to him properly, right? It will come at the end of the episode, but I feel like the reason they could... It's a good reason, but I feel like the reason they could have been like... because the color of his skin, and maybe he couldn't understand why they were being racist towards him or weird or with him, and that would come at the end of the episode or during, or maybe she would only listen to Ruby because she was the same skin color. I thought that might have been an interesting episode, maybe, because you think they were going to include like social commentary or whatever in this, and then maybe they would have done something about race in this one. It seems like an obvious one. I feel like it was kind of set up to be maybe something about race, but no, they went a different angle. So the doctor sends a location of these tunnels to everybody, right? But there's a door before you get to the tunnels, and there's an overly long code, like 100-digit code that you need to enter before you can even get through the door. I'm not sure. I think the only reason for that was there's an episode where Lindy and this other character, Ricky September, need to be delayed and for other things to happen. So it just seemed a little unnecessary, I think, as an obstacle. That's just what I was thinking in my head when I saw that scene. So Lindy is trying to get to the location where she will be safe. The visor is surrounding her. She has to turn it off sometimes. But she has this problem where she can't think by herself properly to walk, because the machine always tells her to walk, like go forward, go left, go right. So when she's trying to walk to the location, she's like tripping over herself. She's like she got vertigo or something. There's a scene where there's like monsters everywhere, and she keeps going really close, like she's gonna be eaten up by them, right? I think there was a bit of trying to make a bit of tension. I think it just shows how she's been completely in this bubble forever, and once she comes out of it, she can't even think or walk for herself. I think it's not that she can't walk; she can't think in her head. Put one leg in front of the other. It's like a baby trying to learn how to walk again. Luckily, there's an influencer. There's like a social media influencer. He's normally in the bubble. You see him early in the episode. He's doing like a dance and singing, whatever. He calls out to her and he gives her instructions. He tries to say, just follow the sound of my voice, right? I tell you, just listen to me. Instead of listening how you used to listen to the bubble, you listen to me and I will tell you, come towards me. And he saves her life, right? And you see him, he's completely different to anybody in Funtime. He tells her that he only posts, social media post. He posts it, like singing and dancing, and he turns the device off for most of the day. And he reads and educates himself and, expands his mind. And first thing you meet him, he's brave, he's smart, he's likable, he's not vacuous, he has a lot of good qualities about them, he cares about other people, he's completely different. I felt like when he's like taking a hand, right? He's taking a hand and saying, we're gonna go now, like we're gonna go to the location, I'm gonna keep you safe, I'm gonna keep you alive, right? And he felt like he was the doctor, right? He felt like he was a stand-in for the doctor. I don't know if Russell T Davies rewrote the script and to make this guy the stand-in for the doctor, because he felt like the doctor a little bit, right, when he came in. That's why when she betrays him, it feels extra bad. She will betray this guy. And it comes out, it's such an awful thing, and you see how horrible Lindy is. Okay, Lindy and Rick September, they've just met. They go to the tunnel, and they're at the tunnel, and they're trying to enter that long-ass code. So Ricky's trying to enter it. Lindy is just talking to the doctor and Ruby. They're trying to figure out how people die, right? It seems like some people don't get killed by the slug straight away. They're killed in some kind of way. They figure out it's an alphabetical order, right? Depending on their last name, right? So it's worked through A, B, C, and her last name is like Pentagon or something. And she's like she's going to be the next one who dies, right? It's working through all the P's, all the A's and B's and everything. So she's going to be the next one. And, this is where we're told what's happening, right? Why the slug monster's here? What's going on? Apparently the dot and bubble, the dot became self-aware, right? The program became self-aware consciousness, like the AI. And he saw everybody and he started hating everybody because I guess they're all vacuous, they're Zoomers. He's watching them constantly talk 24/7, this AI, and he just wants to kill everybody, right? Because he hates them so much. So the AI designs this slug creature to eat everybody. So the slugs actually, they kill a lot of people, right? They must kill like nearly everybody. And not just on Funtime, the city where they're working, also in the home base. The home base, I think, is in that space. They kill everybody in the home base. It's like everybody's in the bubble and they don't even aware of this killer monster. Yeah, the AI designed the perfect way to kill them, right? Because everybody's stuck in the bubble. I can't blame the AI for killing everybody because they're very unlikable. Actually, if you watch this a second time, you're rooting for the slugs, right? Because you're not rooting for Linda. So your second time you watch it, you do get a different experience from it, knowing how it ends. So it's Lindy's turn to die. Her last name is P. She's the next. But the dot that hovers around, tries to kill her, right? But then Ricky tries to keep her alive. He's putting in the code, this 100-digit code into the door. He said, we'll swap positions. You put in the code and I'll fight off this dot thing that's floating around trying to kill you. So he's got an iron rod and he's just hitting it and she's entering the code, right? And the device overcomes him, right? They break something above his head. it falls on his head and he drops to the ground and he can't stop the device. He's like a hero, right? He's a very nice guy. He's trying to do everything he can to save Linda. While he's on the ground, he's hurt. The device goes right to Linda to kill her. And she betrays him, right? She says, Ricky September, that's not his last name. His name was changed. Originally, his name was Coombs, right? Comes first before S. C comes before S. And Ricky gets off the floor and he feels like bad. She betrayed him, right? He can't believe she's just done that, right? To save herself from death. The device comes to him, looks back, goes to him, rips right through his head, kills him dead. And Lindy looks at it and she closes the door behind the tunnel and gets to safety, right? And then she meets everybody up and she acts with no remorse, right? She just killed somebody, right? I know she's trying to save herself, but she killed somebody, shows no remorse. She actively pretends like she lies about what happens. She says Rick turned back to go save other people, but that's not what happened. She lies to the doctor and Ruby. Very unlikable. You saw the depths of how awful this person is. Like when she meets the doctor and Ruby, she says, maybe I should thank you for saving me. Maybe she doesn't thank them. She thinks maybe I should think about saying thank you to you. She doesn't say thank you. She says maybe I should think about saying thank you. She's really horrible. She doesn't like them. She looks down at them. It turns out all their friends and people are looking down at Ruby and the doctor because apparently they're all religious, right? Like, there was some mention about the sky god or something. They all, I don't know, I think they're like the bishops in Boom episode, right? I didn't realize that at first, that they were religious. It always comes at the end. The reason why they don't like the doctor and Ruby is because they're not part of their group, right? And they look down at them. There's this whole scene where their plan, all these people who are still alive, is to just, they realize the home base is gone, that there's just these few people still alive. There's like maybe 20 or 30 people who survived. And their plan is to just leave this city. City is surrounded by a force field that protects them from the wild. Around the city is just like wilderness, right? Their plan is to go there and like be cavemen, right? Start over again like the ancestors or something and be like this is where the doctor comes in and he realizes that these people are idiots, right? And they're not going to be cavemen. They're going to go in the forest and they're going to die because they have no skills to survive, right? And they're awful people. All these 30 people are going to go out there and they're going to die. So he begs them, right?
You can say whatever you want. You can think absolutely anything. I will do anything if you just allow me to save your lives.
Right? He's asking them, I've got a TARDIS. I can take everybody. It's bigger on the inside. I can take everybody and I can save you. I can take you to a beautiful place, safe place where you can start again. They turn him down. They look down. They laugh at him. He's begging them to go into there. And they're just, even Lindy's like saying, no, you're not one of us. What you call it? At first, the doctor starts laughing, right? Because it's so absurd that they're going to just do this. Because he knows that they're all going to die outside. And then he's like crying. Then he's shouting, please come. And then he's crying. Then when they're leaving, they're on a boat. They're going to completely leave the city. Leave. He starts crying because he knows they're going to die. And when that happens, I'm like, good, let them die. Let me get into how I felt about the episode. I felt like they didn't deserve to be saved, right? The doctor spends all this time trying to save all these people that are unlikable and they don't deserve to be saved, right? They don't want to be saved. A lot of the time, they push back on being saved. It's a hassle. He has to push them to survive, and they don't want to survive. They want to be rude to him. They want to be stuck up. They want to be rich kids. They want to be annoying. I'm thinking that, yeah, let them all go, right? Let them all go eat it, go next dimension, yeah? Let them go into the forest and suffer and then, you know, pass away, get eaten by a bear or something. What happens? I think this is a bit where, you know, there's a point where she's saying no to him. I thought she was going to say, it's because they ask, why are you saying no to me? And she says, oh, because you're not one of us.
What? Why not?
Because you, sir, are not one of us.
But I thought, wouldn't it be better if she said, because you're black or something, right? I was thinking she's going to make it a race thing, right? I think she's going to say, because you're not thingy, and then it would be, I think it would have been crazy. I feel like there was some kind of race thing going on, right? I think, or something about tribalism, right? Or something about race or faith or religion. There was like, you're the other, you're not one of us, we can't trust you, we look down on you, we're gonna not listen to you, we'd rather go down there and all die. They don't think they're gonna die, they're gonna survive, but it's so absurd, that they wouldn't listen to him. So their decision to go into the forest and live like cavemen, I think it comes from extreme dumbness, right? There's lack of mind and also from their faith that tells them not to listen to the doctor. So the doctor, he's crying, he's shouting, he's very frustrated that he can't save these people and they won't listen to him. And it's like talking to a brick wall, right? He wants to help them. He will do anything. He's saying, I will do anything. Just please listen to me, right? Because he knows they're going to die. And then he just shows a lot of emotion, right? I think in that second, I liked his performance, the Ncuti, right? The doctor's performance, Ncuti performance. But I think overall the episode does suffer a lot. I mean, Lindy is a very good actress. She does a good job. And there's not a lot of characters. I think there's only like 4 characters. You see other people, but they're not like proper in the story. I just think it suffers a lot that the Ncuti and Millie Gibson are not in the episode all the way through. Their performances on the social media talking to Lindy lacks. The monsters are CGI, they're not practical effects, they're slow, they're not scary. That is a problem, because the slugs, you want the slugs to be scary. That's the problem. But the first time I watched it, I didn't like it as much. The second time, I felt like it had a different meaning because of the end of the thing, how unlikable Lindy is and how their people are faithful. Second time I enjoyed it a lot better, right? And like the first time I watched it, I would have said, it's second to worst to Space Babies, right? But now I'm thinking it's a lot higher than that now. It's a lot, for me, I don't know, 6, not 6. Like, it kind of makes me think. I don't know, like I'm watching the episode afterwards, I'm kind of thinking about it, right? So I think it must be a 7 or 8. Let's say it's an 8, right? Because I was just thinking about her attitude and the way everyone was in that particular little city. I was trying to think about how the little themes of the bubble and how it applies. So it does make you think, right? So I think because it makes me think, I'm rating it higher, right? I'm rating this episode higher. I really think you should watch it a second time around because it's more, I don't think impactful. It gives you a second experience, right? It does add to it, even though you watched it it does add to the show knowing how it will end. Thank you for watching. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, use the links in the description to support my channel. Thank you very much. Take care. Love you. Bye. Also, just let me know what you thought of the episodes, right? Because I love reading your comments and I like to see a discussion in the comments section. It's very interesting. So let me know. Take care. Bye.